So there is a massive petition going around called "Stop Killing Games." So basically, this is a petition to basically end, shutting down games and games basically being washed forever as well. So basically, there has been a battle to basically preserve games so they're not deleted forever. And yes, most of it is to preserve games that people actually like, but I think it is to preserve all games. Yes, even games like Superman 64 and Bubsy 3D. Because yes, I think bad games could be used to teach developers of what not to do in a video game, like Bubsy 3D and as well. But I am finally glad that yes, people are finally starting to realize that we need to preserve video games. As much as we like video games or not, video games is a form of art, just like movies are. Okay, I think we should also do a stop killing movies, but that mostly applies to movies on streaming service. Okay, but not movies, shows, games, whatever. Okay, you have to have it. They have to be preserved somewhere. Okay, if the software no longer exists or the thing no longer exists, then for example, when the Nintendo Switch One, when the Wii U and 3DS's lifespan online was shut down, there are tons and tons of games exclusive to those consoles, eSops, that you'll never be able to play again or touch again as well. Which means, once the final 3DS figures out, guess what? Those games are completely unplayable again unless you hack your 3DS or hack your console to get these games back as well. Okay? And that is going to be a big problem in the future when, same thing on the 360 on one side. There's so many games that will just completely washed forever as well because they shut down the 360, as well. I think if you really want to I think if you really want to stop killing games, I think we have to make sure every game has a physical copy so it can be saved forever. This includes $2 games or crappy mobile games that nobody plays, but I think every game needs to have a physical version in order to survive. The only problem with this whole thing is that there are hundreds of thousands of digital only games on Steam, on the Switch currently, the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, games you can only buy digitally. And yes, there are several companies that have done a pretty good job of trying to preserve physical games as well, but with physical copies, but they're only preserving the huge games like Undertale or FNAF, and not really all of the unknown games that nobody cares about as well, that no one or other peep about as well. Okay, and yes, and of course, when it comes to a lot of these games, you could just port the games to the newer consoles as well here. But what about the developers who got shut down? What are the developers who can't port the games to newer consoles? Like FNAF, they can just port them to the newer consoles. Same thing of Undertale. Okay, because those are popular games. Okay, but what about games like My Farm, which I played, or Birdmania 3D? Games that you cannot no longer play. I don't want I remember I played or there was that penguin game I had for like the DS, 3DS. It was like you had to rescue penguins and stuff. Guess what? Those games are no longer available because guess what? The 3DS ESOP is no longer gone. And yeah, the 3DS ESOP preserved a lot of those long lost DS. Once the DS online shut down, guess what? You can simply just transfer all of your DSiWell games to your 3DS. But there's no way you can save those games to the Switch. You cannot do that. So stop killing games is, I think important because, yes, it is mostly to, prevent live service games from being shut down. But I think they really need to preserve games that are lost forever. Okay, like Birdmania 3D or My Farm. Okay, games that were DSi rail games as well, but they're basically lost forever. Basically as well. Yeah. Same thing in games like Pop Island because the studio shut down because so they can't port to the newer consoles as well here. With Xbox and PlayStation, they have done a pretty good job at just transferring the games from console to console, but when it comes to Nintendo or PC or mobile, if a game gets deleted from the store, it's gone forever. Okay, as well. But yep, that's about this video here. Goodbye.